It is the end of April. So far spring has been quite cold and wet. The daffodils start flowering, which to my mind seems a little bit later than usual. Hello and welcome to my garden. One of the things that I'm trying to achieve in this garden is to have a constant flow of flowers throughout the year. And behind me the hellebores have finished flowering and now the daffodils are taken over. I've chosen for this variety, it is a white variety called Thalia or Thalia, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And it has these beautiful white flowers that come with 2 or 3 flowers on a stem. I think they're really pretty. I'm not sure if I like how I planted them. It is a bit messy, so I think for next year I'm going to regroup them and plant them into larger groups of 7 or 10. In the south of the Netherlands, not far from my mum's house, is a nursery that she highly recommended to me. So we went to visit it and it didn't disappoint. I felt like a kid in a sweet shop. They have a huge variety of perennials and biennials. It was a lovely sunny day, so perfect for strolling along the rows of plants. I came prepared and I brought a list of plants that I wanted to check out. On my list were foxgloves, nepitas and scabious. Lupins were not on my list, but I couldn't resist bringing these purple flowers home with me. Now on to the nepitas. As it was a lovely sunny day, it was buzzing with bees. In my last video you saw me planting a variety called Junior Walker, and I wanted to add a few more to the borders. Look at all these wonderful plants that we have selected. Not all of these are mine. This is my mum's selection. Back home my terrace is packed with new plants, bulbs and dahlias. I absolutely adore foxgloves, and it wouldn't be a proper cottage garden without them. This is a white variety called Dalmatian white. I'm going to plant them out into my white border. Behind me is the white garden. It started out as a border with white flowering plants only, but later on I added the hellebores for more winter interest. I made a few changes to this part of the garden. I removed 2 roses that weren't happy here at all, and I've added another hydrangea and a bell. I have one at the other side as well, so now it feels a little bit more balanced. And now I'm going to add these beautiful foxgloves. It is a white flowering variety. I'm going to place them all on the ground, and if I'm happy with where they are, I'm going to plant them. This one can go here. I like to plant them in a group of 3. On the left side of the border, I'm going to plant a second group of foxgloves. I like this border to be a bit symmetrical, with on either side a group of hellebores, foxgloves and a hydrangea, and in the middle my white roses. I will leave them for a while and I will plant them out later in the video. It is time to feed the roses. Now roses need all the energy they can get to produce these beautiful flowers. At this time of the year I'm using dried cow manure and it comes with these pellets. I'm just going to sprinkle it at the base of the stems and then later in the year when they are in flower I will give them a liquid feed. I'm giving them a thick layer of manure and with the rain it will wash into the ground so that the roots can take it up. Time to plant the foxgloves. These are very healthy looking plants with a good root system. I'm teasing the roots a bit before I pop it in. Backfill with soil and gently firm it in. Foxgloves are biennials, which means that they only last 2 years. They grow the first year and flower the second year, set seed and then die. I'm giving them a good soak and hopefully I got lots of flowers this year. I'm going to add some herbs to the garden and I have a couple of different varieties. Most of them I grow for tea, like this one. It is a peppermint and these two are Moroccan mints and the fragrance is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely adore them. And this one is a wild marjorie that I grow mainly for the bees because they absolutely adore the flowers and they're quite pretty and decorative in the garden as well. Over here I have my thyme and over there I have my sage. And the sage I use for teas as well. I dry them like these ones. And then I just pop 1 or 2 leaves into a cup of hot water and have some lovely tea. I'm also going to grow some herbs from seeds and I have a couple of varieties. I have dill that I mainly grow as a cut flower for flower arrangements. I have some wild marjorie again because I want to have some more of them and it's a lot cheaper if you sow them. Some chamomile that I use for tea as well. I will be sowing that in this bed and then I will dry the flower heads for tea. and some basil that I absolutely adore with some tomato and mozzarella. Planting herbs is as easy as every other plant. Simply dig a hole the same depth as the pot. This plant is a bit root bound, so I'm teasing the roots to stimulate new growth and make it easier to grow into the soil. Pop it in and backfill with soil. Gently firm it in and water after planting. These mints will go to another bag. So I'm going to put the mint plants in this bed, and the reason for that is that it's a little bit more shady than that corner. That corner is very sunny and dry, and I did try to grow mint over there, but it didn't go well. So that's why I'm going to plant them over here. These are quite root bound, so they really need to get out of the pots. I'm teasing the roots before I plant it. Now usually gardeners warn you for planting mint in your garden, as it can spread and take over a part of your garden. So it is better to plant it into a container. Somehow in my garden mint doesn't grow very well, so I plant them into the soil. However, I've never grown them in these new raised beds, so maybe this year they will do much better and I regret planting them in here. So now my final one is the peppermint. Also has quite a lot of roots, so I'm teasing the roots a little bit. And then here it goes. So usually you wouldn't plant these so close together and so close to the strawberries, but as you can see I have a small space, so I'm trying to squeeze as much as possible in it. So now all I have to do is give them a good watering. April has been quite wet, but the birds didn't seem to mind. I even had a sparrowhawk visiting my garden. That evening we got a heavy thunderstorm with hail. Huge hailstones covered the garden and poked holes into my plants. I ran outside to put as many plants in pots into the garage. I was completely soaked, but there was no time to film. The hailstones ripped off the flowers of the snake's head fritillaries and poked holes into the leaves of the foxgloves that I just planted. Hellebore stems were broken and also some fresh shoots of the roses were broken. The flowers of the daffodils were ruined. Even the pansies were damaged by the hailstones. The weather can do a lot of damage to a garden, but plants are tough and will recover. In a few weeks' time you won't see it ever happened. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and don't forget to watch till the end for some bloopers. See you next time. Behind me is the white garden. This is a white variety called Dalmatian white, and I'm going to plant it. Dove. No. I'm going to add some herbs to the garden, and I have a couple of different varieties. Mostly stomme duif. I will be sowing that in this bed, and then I will dry the flowerets. It is time. And I'm just going to sprinkle it at the base of the stems. It is time. I'm giving them a thick layer of manure, and when it rains it will soak into the ground so that the roots can take it up, wash into the ground. One of the things that I'm trying to achieve in my garden is to have a constant flow of flowers throughout the year. There's a helicopter. Great. Behind me the hellebores have finished flowering, and now that, and then dot some groups around the hellebores. Helicopter.